Hello and welcome to this Excel tutorial. Today I will be showing you how to use the goal-seek function. And the goal-seek function is a really great tool to use when you want to achieve a desired result by changing one other factor that feeds into it. I've got 3 different examples here which will show you exactly how the goal-seek function works. But I'll start off with one limitation, and that is that you can only influence a result to the value that you want it to be by changing only one other factor. So it only works by changing one other factor. And it will all become clear in these examples. So let's start with the first example. Zoom in a fair bit. Okay. So here we've got production cost, sales price, and profit. And we've got production cost as £10, sales price is £15, and the profit is the sales price minus production cost. So that is how the goal-seek function works, is that you must have a calculation feeding into the value that you want to change to be the value that you want it to be. Otherwise it won't work. So we want to change this profit to be £10 rather than £5. And we can do that by using the goal-seek function. So if we go into data in the top ribbon, and we go into what if analysis in the forecast section, and then we click on goal-seek, we have a box here which has 3 inputs. One says set cell, and then another one says to value, and then another one says by changing cell. And what that means is we're going to set the cell that we want to the value that we want. In this case it's £10, by changing, and in this case we're going to change the sales price. So we're going to change cell H9, which is the value for the sales price. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that value so that it makes the profit to the value that we want it to be, in this case £10. So if I then click OK, it will go through an iteration process. Now this was a very simple example, so it went through it quite quickly. But on more complex examples, you may have to wait here a bit while it iterates through this value that you've chosen that you wanted to change so that you get the desired result. But what it will do is iterate through to try and get you the value that you want. And once that has happened, you can click OK, and it would have finished. It would have found the value here. So what we've done here is we've changed the profit from £5 to the £10, which is the value that we wanted, by influencing the sales price. And that has only worked because the sales price has influenced the profit through a calculation. Cool. So let's go to the second example. And let's say this was like a summary report that you put in a PowerPoint for your boss or something like that. All very real. And this margin was calculated from another spreadsheet or something. There's very detailed calculations that were done in order to get that value. Let's say that's the same with the production cost. Doesn't seem like it though. And so you can use those 2 values to get sort of a sales price for your product, let's say. But let's say that in the meeting, someone wanted you to actually change the margin to be, say, to change the sales price so that the margin, is much higher. We want the margin to be high. We want to have a higher margin. So we could use the goal-seek for that. We could change this value to be, say, £15 and see what the margin was. So we can go back to our what if analysis, our goal-seek. We can set the cell here that we want, £12.64, to be £15 instead. We want to change our sales price, and let's see what our margin is because of it. If we click OK, again done the iterations, and our margin here is 50%. Cool. So that's another way of looking at it. You can influence it. Just doesn't have to be numbers every time. It can be percentages as well. Okay, in our final example, I'm going to show you also, it's a limitation, but if you're happy to change only one other factor, then it doesn't have to be so much a limitation. So here we've got 5 different items, and it comes to a total of total spend. So you've got units of those 5 different items, say that you bought, that's in your shopping bag, and these are the individual prices. So your total spend would be the units times by the price, and so on and so forth. And here you have, £14.96 is your final shopping spend, but you have £20 in cash. And so the goal seek function won't be able to find the best combination of all 5 of them. That's the limitation to this. But what you can do, if you're happy just to change one item in the list, then it can work quite well. So we can ask for this value to be changed to £20 by changing one other cell. So we could change, let's say, item 1. So if you click on that, it will do iterations, and it will get you exactly the value that you want. But so if I click OK on that and get rid of that, but we can see here, so we've changed the value here to be the value that we want to make that £20 because we only have £20 in cash. Now you can see here that you can't have 6.09 of a unit. So you can do some rounding functions, but I think the best thing to do in this case is to, because it's such an easy example, you can just make it 6. But I wouldn't in this case, I wouldn't go to 0 decimal places because you still have your 6.09 in the background. So I would actually properly change it if you can, like that. And there we have the closest value that we can get it to be. So I hope you've enjoyed that tutorial. It's just a quick 3 examples on how to use the goal seek function. Hopefully now you can go about using it and let me know how you get on. Thank you very much for watching.